Recording. Okay. So today, what I am trying. Do you all see the screen now? Is it clear? Are you able to see the screen? No sound. None of you are able. Only one. Only Pramod is not able to see. Others are seeing. Pramod will receive a video at the end of the class. That's what I can say. Okay. So in this class, what I am going to teach you is the other important. Yeah, I am. You can also record in team. I am recording in a separate cloud recording software, which is much more clearer than this. Just like how I did last time. Okay, someone else, can you please record? Yeah, hello. Someone else, can you record? Anyone else? Okay, anyway, I will share the recorded video with in my recording and then send it to you. Okay, so shall I begin the class? Yeah. So what I'll do is in the last class, okay, we had this very important tool. Two things I had taught you. See, these in Illustrator, as I told you, it will look very similar to Adobe Photoshop, and mostly it will resemble the pen tool of Adobe Photoshop. And we have a pen tool here also. We can select the node and we can select the whole object and all that. All these things will remain the same. Similarly to Photoshop, we can add gradient, you can add color, we can remove color, all these things. We have shapes, we can add shapes like this. Sorry. So I can add shape. Now the color is white. So if you change the, so these things are what I taught you in the last class. Okay. So how you can add a shape, how you can make one edge filleted like this. Okay, so all these things are taught in the last class, and okay, and we had continue with the logo, how to trace a logo, all that I have taught in the last class. Now, for those who have missed, I'll give some small this thing. You have a very important tool called Shape Builder tool, in which you create shape quite quickly. So if you add up two shapes like this and like this, you have a shape, and then if you click a shape builder tool and press alt and draw like this, only this shape will be divided into two. Or if you draw like this, it will create another shape, or you click here, it will become empty. So this shape builder tool is one of the things which I taught earlier in the first class of Adobe Illustrator, how it works and all that. It is a very simple and easy tool in which you can create different shapes using a combination of shapes, etc. So if I want to cut this part of it, very simple. Select this circle and select this thing and click on shape builder tool and press alt and drag. There it is cut and it is gone. Now you can just a minute. So I can after doing that, I can remove this line which I've created. So that creates a new shape. So new shape, any shape in shape builder tool is compound shapes by adding or minusing some area. So compound shapes can be easily created using shape builder tool, and that's what I spoke about in the previous class. Nikhil, I think I gave this introduction because Nikhil, you have missed your first class of Illustrator. It will look very bad to start all of a sudden into the subject. That is why I've shared it to you. Do you hear this, Nikhil? Yeah. So this is one interesting way where in which you can build logo very quickly. Very quickly you can develop a logo. Also, you can use pen tool to draw. You can use this pen tool. You can draw something like this. It's very easy to draw using pen tool. So basically, in Illustrator, on any shape, if you select the shape, there is a fill color and there is an outline color. In this shape, the fill color is red, kind of red, and the outline color is black. You can change the outline color also into green. Yeah, if you go closer, you will come to know it is a green color. So this is how Illustrator works. If you don't see, don't worry, it is because of the thickness of the outline. It is very small in the stroke. So I give a thicker outline, it automatically becomes visible. The green color looks visible. Also in Illustrator, in any shape you can increase the thickness. So thickness of the shape, thickness of the outline can be increased in any shape. Whatever selected, you can increase. You can okay, you can increase the thickness, and you can select this object and say I don't want color. You can click here and say click on this none. There won't be any color. Even that you can do. After doing all this also, you can use shape builder and remove, say, this part of it, or this part of it, and this outline part of it. Definitely all, by pressing alt you can remove and create different shapes. So in this also I can remove the outline by clicking here and clicking here. The outline is gone. Then it is only a simple this thing. Okay. So here in this pen tool, um, um, pen tool, you can also make it blend, make this path blend, and you know you can sorry, selected this, and then you can make it like this. You can make this path blunt. That is also possible. Okay, on this also you can make it sharp. Anything that is possible. So these controls are over here. If you use the second this thing selection, you can reduce in one part alone. You can make a sort blunt or sharp, and others you can make it remain like that only. Any segment, if you click, if there is a fillet, it will allow you to select. That makes it very interesting to use Illustrator for, especially people, for you to create logos. Okay, so these are the parts which I discussed in the previous class. Now I am going to different this thing called brushes. So what is brushes? Brushes is like, if you go to Windows and just a minute. Mm, um, so you have the brushes here actually. Basically, you have the paintbrush, blob brush. So you have this brush tool actually. So the brush tool is nothing but it will create a stroke in a particular way. So that is the main advantage of having a brush tool. Just a minute. Are you seeing my screen properly? Do you miss anything? You can see it properly. Okay. So in brush tool, over here is paintbrush tool, wherein you can use this as see, there is a big difference between a brush line, and there is a big difference between a pen line. Whatever you create in pen line, this is also a pen tool. You can click and drag so that it will create curvature. That is a different way of drawing it, and this is a very straightforward way of drawing it. That is the only difference. Both are pen tool only. So there is a big difference between the strokes that are created in pen tool, which are very much uniform, and the strokes that are created using brushes. So when you see the brushes, the strokes may vary, depends upon the brush that you have selected. So if you go here and select the brush, there are different kinds of brush. If you select this line, and if you give a brush like this, it will have some bristles. It will be like this. It will be not so even. Sorry, are you seeing my screen? It will be not so even. So if I select this black line, okay, I have selected this black line, and I give a bristle this brush, so it becomes uneven. Okay, so also you can give thickness to whatever extent you want, so that it doesn't look really dirty. So this is not so good. So this looks as though the brush is stroke. There's a brush drawn like this, and so the brush tool is one important tool which you have. You can change. There are so many brushes that are available. You can change that into different brushes. If you see this, I'm moving this. Sorry. If you check this, if you move this for this side, if you see that this created a whole new line. So you can select this and click on brush and choose different kind of brush. See this brush. So the line itself will change drastically, and it is also a fact that you can use these brushes. You can create your own brushes in Illustrator, so that it will um, help you to create one awesome and wonderful designs for your this thing. So also there are packs of brushes that are available. Now I'm selecting this one, just increasing the width of this line so that you will understand. So see, it is not uniformly done. It goes like this, it goes like this. If you change the brush, it gives a different it is totally different. It is unimaginable that you will be able to create a line like this. So you can create line or shape with the brushes, which is one important feature of Illustrator. And this is a brush line. This is a simple line. On top I have given this long flat brushes, 5 points I have given that, so it became like this. Also you can convert, okay, you can outline this brush into an object, okay, which is also possible. Just a minute. Okay, you can give outline stroke, where if you go to object and path, and if you give outline stroke, so that brush value goes and it becomes a shape. It becomes a shape wherein I can change the fill. I can change the fill color and put some other color. I can change the outline color and fill it up with some other outline color, and also I can increase the stroke of the outline just as I would do for other shapes. So that is the most versatile part of this thing. This is a brush wherein I have given this brush onto this line. It's okay, after some time I feel that it is not worth doing all that, so I can actually convert that into shape. You can go to object and path and give outline stroke, so the whole thing becomes a stroke. It becomes a line, so different many lines. You saw that? So that you can change the color of this one by one. Okay, so it is in a group now. You can ungroup them and look at this. So I am making it into a kind of rainbow color. Okay, I can make it into different color. So every stroke that we have is going to be changed. It is going to be different, so that I will get a rainbow kind of output, so that there are so many strokes there. Everything will be changed now. Okay, so that I will have a beautiful. So see, so there are so many colors in that. Though it looks transparent, it is everything is different. It looks as though we have stroked on the same place so many different times with uh, the different brushes. So that is what you feel, and you can select all these things. Earlier the opacity is kept very low for the brush reasons. I am increasing the opacity and selecting, so it became a totally different vibrant stroke with many layers of color. So that is the speciality of Illustrator. All these things are not possible at all in Photoshop, which makes Illustrator an interesting software for illustrators, that is, who gives illustration for science and other many reasons. and for the people who create creative work of art and logos, etc. Okay, did you follow? So brush is one major tool. If you see in Photoshop, the most you can do with the brush is that you can add a color, load it, and then spray it. You can adjust the opacity. You can change the roundness, and you can change it little bit, and then you can create your own brushes, no doubt, even that is there. But converting a brush into an outline or into a different shape and then again playing with it is not workable in Photoshop. Also, if you happen to have a circle, for example, I'm going to um, go to the shape thing and then an ellipse or something like that. Okay, I'm creating a circle. So you can have this, you can swap this thing. I want that outline but no fill. I just swapped it, so you have this outline. In here you can actually type on the path. I think, did I teach you this? So if in some logos you will find that there'll be something typed all around the logo or something like a seal. So you can type like that on the path. That is one feature which is available here. Type on path tool. You can click here and oh, okay, it will go on. Okay, so that is one thing. This is possible even if you have used a pen tool, if you have created an arc or something which is not straight. Okay, you can also type over here. You can type the same thing. You can type anything over here in that direction. So if you are presenting something with Illustrator, you will come up with lot of creative options where you can twist and tweak and create so many different things. See, even after creating this thing out of a brush tool, you can still adjust that line thickness. You can make it a normal line. Again, that stroke can be changed. Now I change the stroke of that, so that now this has become like this. So you have many multiple options so that you can play with it. Okay, you can play with it. So that sounds like a logo of some bank or something like that. Can keep it like this. Okay. So you have so many options available on every line you draw. Okay, on every line you draw, you have so many options. Also, if you come here, if you see, there is something called brush libraries. You have this artistic brushes, so many libraries, image brushes, image brush library, so many libraries are available. Bristle brush is one which I showed you just now. If you click on bristle brush and brush library, again in that there are hundreds of bristle brush library. So each item there is, okay, so there is chalk, calligraphy. So if I click calligraphy, in that calligraphy you have different types of brushes. Okay, so if I click on arrow special, okay, this may be useful for you. Arrow special, again so many types of arrow. So if you want to create a sheet, you have to show something of the plan over here. So you create a line like this and end it and select that line and click on this. So you can give arrows like this. Isn't it interesting? So you can create so many different types of arrow. There are so many different types of arrow. I'm sure you don't require more than this. Okay, so many. So and you can just select a line and apply this arrow. Apply this arrow. Or however crooked or however bad you can apply it. See, entrance door. Like that, when you have design sheets, you have all these things done. Okay, you can select. select a line and make it an arrow. Similarly, it is not about arrow. It is see, pattern arrow. See how many variants you have. Pattern arrow. So this is pattern arrow. So this will have double line and it goes around. It is called pattern arrow. If you want this itself, you can give a pattern arrow. Okay, it goes all around. Okay, you can increase the stroke size so that people see that properly. Okay, okay. So there are so many options in which you can work on, and no doubt it is an amazing software. Okay, so here there are decorative banner and seal, decorative scatter, so many things. So so what I did, I just applied a decorative thing on that line, and now of course I don't want this fill and this line and all that. Uh, so what happened that, have you seen these effects hmm, in posters and all that? Yeah. Hello, are you all there? Have you all gone out? Yeah. So such effects you can give. Now there is n number of options like this. I would suggest you just have to try one by one. Try one by one and check what are all the options and come up with good options in poster after working on all these things. So these things can be like given for highlighting something, you know if you're for that something which you want to say without saying is a magic. Okay, so you can give this kind of a uh, brush. So all such things you can do. You can increase the kind of catchiness for the poster. So all these things can be done. Okay, so so that is so much about brush. So many brushes are there. Now I have opened so many and I have shown you. And okay, so what is it about creating a new brush? If I say I will delete some area so that I can work on it. So that I can work on it. Okay, I have some area over here. I am creating a rectangle over here. Okay, I'm going to give a fill color for this. Okay, no outline color. Okay, so this is a thing. So in this, I'm not going to limit with this. I will select this and okay. So I'll make it like a capsule. Okay, I'll make it like a capsule. And what I'll do is I will go to new brush. Okay, so it'll ask what kind of a brush you want to create. You want to create an art brush, bristle brush, pattern brush. What kind of a thing do you want? So if I give scatter brush, it is something like you can paint with that. If I give scatter brush, so it will say it is the name of the brush is scatter brush. I can say tablet, no, capsule. Okay, size fixed. Do you want to keep it as fixed all the time? Definitely I don't like it. It will be random. It will be random from 100 to 180. It will do. Spacing, I'll give random. Okay, so when you give random, you have to give a minimum size you have to give a maximum size. So I'll give a minimum size, I'll give a maximum size. Spacing. Okay. So scatter, how much it has to scatter? You can give random. So minimum this much scatter and maximum that much scatter. Rotation, again I'm giving random. I'm giving this much and this much. So I give like this. So one more, what do you call, scatter brush is added. Okay, so if you want to, so if you want this, so when I draw, what happens is it, okay, so this brush was little big, so that it creates a scatter in which too much of variance. Okay, so what I should have done, I should have made this brush little more smaller, so that it will look like this magical thing here. Okay, so I wanted to make that scatter brush, so I make it small. No, sorry. Mm, I'm not able to. Just a minute. So the problem over here is make it small, small capsule. Okay, okay. So I made it small. Now I'm making one more scatter brush. I'll go here and add a new brush. I'll say scatter brush and give OK. And like I did before, small cap. I'll just give a new name. Random, 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 random. Let's not have too much of variation. I'll all have between 80 to 100. Not too much of variation. 80 to 100. So I have a mild variation in both rotation, 27-degree, lesser 20-40, maximum 30. Okay, like that I am giving. So this is the second one. So let me try applying that. So I will apply a line. I'll create a line. Okay, so I'll create like this. I will swap this. So I'll give this. So you see that it is scattered in a way that there is minimum variation. There is a minimum variation. I would say I need more variation in the rotation. So I will give a more variation in the rotation, scatter and random and all that, little bit more. So when I give that, apply to strokes, so it changes. So it changes the way it shows up on the line. And if you have done some interesting design apart from this capsule, which I don't have time, that is why I made it like this. It's really look dumb, but if you have to do something like this, and if you have given that, that will definitely look better. So that is the most important thing. Okay. So this is called scatter brush. Whatever I have shown you is a scatter brush. So there are other brushes also. New brush, if you give it will say bristle brush, pattern brush. Okay, so if you have something with you, mm, and if you have a new brush, so there are other brushes like art brush. You can give an art brush. So what is it? Okay, so this is a simple one, so it doesn't actually look very impressive even if I do the art brush. Maybe I will have, Okay, so I give a new brush and I'll give art brush. So I'll just give it as an art brush. What happens, just like those art brushes, whatever I draw, I give art brush. It sort of follows the same thing on the dotted line. And on any line you can give. So I've given that, and if I give, so that becomes a art brush. So that becomes an art brush. You can double click and edit the width also. You can reduce the width by 50%, no problem. You can vary, okay, you cannot vary. So scale proportionately. So stretch to fit stroke. So you can give it scale proportionately or stretch to fit the stroke length. Scale proportionately, if you give, it doesn't stretch, it just apply to stroke. So it will create a decent gap between them. You can also change the color of this tints. Okay, I have to select a color. Okay, flip across. There are these two options which allows you to flip across. If I give, uh, if I have given a single object, something like this, okay, so I am planning to give a triangle, so that direction makes all the sense. So I'll give a line here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. Oh, 1 second. So I'm making it a kind of triangle so that I will understand the movement of that particular thing on the line, how it moves on the line which I am creating. So I'm selecting this again. I am giving a new brush. Brush. So here you see that now this is going to be traveling like this. Now that is not what we want. Okay, so this has to be traveling in this direction. So that is what we want. So you should give this carefully, otherwise it is going to be wrong. So this has to be traveling in this direction. Okay, and give okay. So I have created another one. I am creating a rectangle and clicking on this. Sorry. So what happened is it stretched the whole way. It stretched the arrow got stretched from here to here to here to here, and it will adjust to what you're doing. So that is the specialty of this. Now if you want to change that feature, you can say scale proportionately, apply to stroke. So it became fatter according to the size of this. You don't want that, you can give stretch to fit the stroke length, stretch between the guides. All these options are available. If I give flip along, if I change the direction, the whole dynamics changes. Okay, it will change the direction of the, see, the arrow is looking down, so it changed the direction. You can double click, you can change the direction. So 1 second. So it will change the direction of the, it will start from here and it will go like this. So all these gimmicks you can do with this can become an excellent frame. Actually, you're going to keep a photo, this will become a frame. Okay, let me delete all the unwanted stuff in my, just for deleting also it's easy. One shot you can delete everything, because you have created the art brush and applied onto everything. So you don't have to delete one square by square. It is easily deletable because you have just, so this will become a very good frame. You can insert a picture inside this. It look very different. Okay, so such things can be done with brushes. Okay, the first one I didn't give much of importance because it is a calligraphy brush. If you call this a brush, okay, so if you call this as a brush, and if you keep it like this, and so this will become a calligraphy brush if you give. Now, how does calligraphy brush help? First one, new brush, calligraphy brush. You just give okay. So it will help you in creating a real brush. Whatever real brush which we do, it is a calligraphy brush. So it will give an angle. You can rotate this angle like this. The roundness you can increase, size you can decrease or increase. Okay, like this, and all these things you can increase and just give okay. So there is a calligraphy brush added. 1 minute. So I think this is the one. If you double click, you will find it. So you can angle roundness you can reduce, apply stroke. So if you happen to create a calligraphy brush, it will only help in changing the direction of the brush and make it flat or round or whatever. Those are the things you can only do with the calligraphy brush. So if you see, it will work like a real brush. That's all. So it works like a real brush. So art, all these different types, all the brushes are of different nature. Calligraphy brush, art brush, scatter brush, bristle brush, pattern brush. So all these are there. I would suggest you can work on these three things as of today. Work on it and see and come up with doubts so that I can start with the other types of brushes. Okay. Other types of brushes which are available. Now, if you select, uh, we have worked on calligraphy, we have worked on scatter, art. Okay. Let's go to bristle brush. So, bristle brush it doesn't need all these things. Bristle brush doesn't need this shape. It is just the shape and size. You can increase the size of the brush in millimeter, increase the length of the brush in millimeter, density, thickness, all these things, a paint opacity, all these things you can give, and there you'll create a bristle brush. It's a simple thing. It doesn't need any object to do. Okay, it is just created by just giving the value. So if I give this bristle brush, so the brush becomes like this. This is the bristle brush. This is called bristle brush. Okay. Okay. Did you follow this so far? Is it becoming difficult? I'm not. I'm sure it is easy. What do you say? It is very easy. Okay. Does any of you know Illustrator already? No sound? Uh, Does anyone? No one knows Illustrator. You are seeing this for the first time. Yeah. So these are the features that are readily available in Illustrator in brushes alone. In brushes alone. And in 90% of the time you can manage with what you have already. You don't have to create new brushes. 90%. Very rarely you will come up with a situation where you need a particular brush, and then you will have to work on it. Okay, so that is about brushes. So one last brush which I have is called pattern brush. I'll just finish this and end this class and leave it to you to do some interesting design. What is pattern brush? Pattern brush is something which changes. Okay, now I will show you. Let me clear this. It's too much of a mess. Too much of a mess. I'll delete this. Okay, so I have a rectangle. So these are, okay, so 1 second. Sorry, in brushes. Go to uh, pattern arrows. Okay, so these are pattern arrows or pattern brushes. If you see, thickness is less. So if you check this, it is composed of, see, in the corner and all it will give correctly. So if you happen to have a normal brush, if you are going to use a bristle brush or any other brush, okay, if you are using this brush, okay, it is not going to turn properly. The pattern brush has two or more outlines. You can create many outlines for it, but whereas a simple brush will be limited to just one outline. Okay, so for creating a pattern brush you need to create a lot more things than a simple brush. Now let me explain. If you have a line like this, okay, um, copy this, okay, so that is number 2. Okay, so in corner alone you want a triangle, imagine. So double click the polygon, 6 sides, no, I'll make it a 3 side, so it is a triangle. So in this corner you want a triangle. Okay, so the same thing on the other side. So rotate it. So this will be for this corner, this corner. You need one to rotate like down. You need one more to rotate like up. For all the corners, you have to take precaution and pattern brush. So this is up, this is down. So you will probably use all of them. So what you'll do is you'll go to new brush, call it pattern brush, and give OK. So because I selected that, it selected this as a pattern and it continues. Okay, so what I would say is, okay, none. I will give none. Okay, so here I want rectangle. When there is a continuous line like this, I want rectangle. So how will I do that? Uh, 1 second. Okay. So you should have already defined that pattern. 1 second. So this is one pattern. Okay, I've added one pattern and I've saved it. Just a minute. I just want to see where that pattern got added. Just a minute. So what I'll do is I'll just check with it with the new Illustrator. There are some changes in the look and feel of it. I'll just check with this and I'll come with a class on pattern brush separately. Okay, so that will help you than confusing you. Basically, you need all these to be defined as a pattern. Once you define them as a pattern, uh, it says it is added. Oh yeah, it is added. So see, this is a pattern. This is a new pattern. this one again. So it is here, over here. I'll add into another pattern. This, the third one, is going to be another pattern. I'll do like this, and I'll give done, and I will do object pattern make. That's another pattern. Done. So I am creating as much as different patterns for it, so that I'll make a pattern brush. Without creating pattern, you don't make a pattern brush. So I've done all these things. So in all direction, right, left, up and down, and this continuous line, or I can add two and define it as one pattern, so that okay, so that will be helpful. Okay, so done. So many patterns are done. Now what are we going to do? Go to brushes, go to new brush, and then give pattern brush. I'll give okay. What you have to do is you have to choose the patterns what you have defined. What do you want in this corner? You click here and then go down and select this one. What do you want in this place? You want a dotted line or single line? I prefer giving dotted line, so I gave this. So what do you want in this corner? I will give the flip opposite of that. Okay, so what do you okay, mainly this, what is it asking? It is for, so in this place I can give the same thing. I'll give the same dotted line over here in both of these things. I don't want any change in that. So once I give that and say new pattern test, just have it. See, I have a new pattern brush defined at in it just joined here. So now the feel of it is like if you click here and add it. Oh, so what happened is the pattern width is 20. I just want to give 1. So when I give this, okay, so you have this pattern brush creating a design, creating a design. So here we have, see, just because I added two of those segments, I think it has added. See, if you see in pattern brush, the direction is well defined. It will say it is going like this, it is going like this. So in that case, it will help a lot. So I feel this double one is quite a headache. So we don't want that. I'll give a new pattern, a single one. Here also I'll give a single one. So okay, so I give this, apply to stroke. So it has changed. So this pattern just travels in the direction in which you want, and it is clearly aware of the direction. The other ones are not aware of the direction what it travels. So that is where the pattern brush makes a difference. So if you really have some complicated stuff like that to show, only then the pattern brush is required, and most of the other things it is already there. And if you want to change the design in this pattern, say for example, I can open this as new pattern, and how if you want to make some change in that shape also, you can make it like this. You can make a change in the shape so that the pattern changes over here also. So pattern brush has two components. One, it is saved as a pattern in this swatch, uh, uh, this thing, and here one, it will be saved as a brush also. If I ever change something here in the swatch, it also changes the, so it will also change here. If I give done, it changes here. So here you see, it gave a change over here and it created a mess actually. Okay, so that is how pattern brushes work. Pattern brushes work in a very complicated manner, but most of it is solved with the regular brushes or the brushes that is already available uh, in the pattern brush. You don't have to work that hard, but if necessary, you will have to create a pattern brush in this way. Okay. So I think I have covered the brushes quite a lot, and I think I will give some time for you to work on it. And what I would suggest is you implement this also in your poster, or this is supposed to be added in the last exercise actually, which I have told you is that you are submitting a sheet, a design sheet in which it involves a lot of arrows and symbols and all that. In that you can use this. If those have not submitted, may also use it here also. But what this particular brushes are primarily meant for your design sheet rather than the poster and all that. For the poster, mostly what you can do is what you use in Photoshop. Most of that is enough, and you can use Photoshop itself and finish the poster. You don't even have to enter Illustrator. Only for the logo you're entering into Illustrator. Okay. Okay. So any doubts in this, whatever I have taught you? Any doubts on what is shown here or what is taught here? Any doubts? You're clear with everything? You'll be all able to do it. How many are there in the class today? 4. My goodness. Class has become 4 students. No, it's not even 4, 3. Nikhil, 3. Shashank is coming in and going out. Huh? What's happening? Network. Huh? I see. Nikhil, you're still from Kerala, you're working. Huh? Okay. So what did the college say anything about people coming to the college? Huh. Huh. Not the government. Huh? Huh? So in that, who was ready to come like that? No. Oh, I see. See, the problem is half the semester they are telling. Hey, you would have vacated your rooms and all that thing and gone home with bag and baggage. Now you'll call the truck and come here. Huh? What nonsense. If you have to do something, they have to do it in the end of the semester. This end you have to tell. All of you are coming to college from next semester. Kindly arrange the hostel and room and whatever it is, and then start coming to college. If they are very sure about opening the college. Instead, if you make all this, it is that there are lots of problems. Not everyone has a car to just throw it behind the car and come. Many are traveling in bus. Half of some of the states bus have not started properly. I don't know what they're trying to prove. Hmm. This is a government circular. In fact, VTU didn't tell. I think only the Karnataka government is saying like that. Correct? No? If yeah, VTU didn't. Did VTU say no? No, that is government higher education. That is what they are simply irritating people. That's all. No, I agree. Even I love to come to college and teach and all that. You can interact better than this. Half the time asking who is there, who is not there, and all that. So, but the thing is that how to connect now. If some of them are staying back in home and some of them are coming to college, where should I teach? Okay, in Kobalan I will come, and from there I can give this live thing from there itself. Something like that has to be done. Mm, It's all little tricky. Mm, mm. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll end this class. You please work on the same thing. Share. I will also share this video by evening. So and upload it so that you can work using the video itself. But it is incredibly a powerful tool. Okay, there is no doubt about it. It is incredibly a powerful tool for anything, especially your design sheets. Especially for your design sheets, you have so many places. You always know when you, before coming to next class, I want to do a small homework. Do you see my screen now? Do you? What did you see now? Do you see the Illustrator itself? Okay, okay. So what I'll do is just I will just shift the screen. Oh, but where is team? Okay, I'm stopping and resharing. So what I'm trying to say is, so now do you see the screen? What? Okay. So if you check these sheets, mostly what you find, okay, there will be sheets which you will think you cannot do. Okay, it will be like too much complicated. So, but all can be done in a combination of um, Photoshop and Illustrator. I'm just trying to show you the right one. Mm, mhm. Loading, loading. Okay, what is that? Oh God, what is that now? Sorry, I don't want to see that. But this is a hand drafted sheet. This one I cannot show. See? Can you see here? Here they have done a lot of such symbols and all that. If you are sharp enough, you can see. Can you see here? Okay. So now can you see? Can you see the screen? Are you seeing the screen? Are you all seeing the screen? Please answer. Yeah. So in this, lot of such gimmicks have been done. See here. See here. Okay. See this one. See this arrow. These are all brushes only. Okay. And if you see this sketchy look, no? You see this look itself is sketchy kind of a look, no? Here. They need not be hand sketched. They can be an AutoCAD drawing imported into Illustrator and they'll give some brushes for the line. That's all. So it will have a sketchy nature. It will look as though it is hand drafted or something like that. It need not be hand drafted. Of course, this is hand drafted. This is not all are hand drafted. This is not hand drafted. Okay, such things you can add such effects in Illustrator. Okay, I will show some other sheet. This is in, okay. There's so many sheets which uses fully Illustrator and Photoshop fully so that they can present it very well. What I'll do is what I'll give you is you just work on uh, as you work on, you just go to these sheets in Pinterest or something. You will find a lot of interesting sheets, and if you come across any doubts, sir, how to handle this, how to create this, you come and ask me. I'll be able to solve it. Understood? Huh? Design sheets which are done by someone else, no problem. But when you look at it, you will have doubts. No, will you be able to do this? This kind of a copy of this, will you be able to do? Or can you tell how this is done? Hmm? How this could be done? Any idea? Hmm? How do you get this background here? How do you get this background? Huh? Layers. Layers and what? Only layers you'll get it. Layers, and you have to reduce the transparency for this one. Understood? Yeah, opacity. Reduce the opacity. Sorry. This and all you can place it. Okay, and then you should crop that image. Do you know how to make this? Can you do you know how to make this? I think I that part of the class I will teach in the next session. But what you do is you whatever you feel is complicated if you don't understand. I'm giving this assignment only for 4 of you. It is not assignment, but then what I'm trying to say is you get some sheets which you feel is complicated and just bring it to me. I'll be able to solve it. That can be a very good class actually, using combination of Illustrator and Photoshop. Understood. So at least visual communication students will have a well presented sheets in AD and all these things. You understood what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So that will be a very good exercise for you. Sheets which you are going to present this semester, AD sheets, wherever it has to be presented better, how can we do? We'll make a small research and I'll show it to you how it can be done. Or any other sheets. What all subject you will present sheets, man? AD and building construction, BC, and then history. You have building structure. Okay, okay. So where all you feel that you can give an innovative and what do you say, creative sheets, in which subject where you have little bit freedom? Probably in AD only, I think. Can you hear me? Which one will you feel that it is easy to give? I mean, you have freedom to be more creative. Which subject? AD only. Okay, so that subject you can present it properly like this. I mean, at least have a practice round so that next semester you can. This semester, will you be allowed to present it with software? No, hand sketch only. When they'll allow? Next year only. So by then next year you can have a very good presentation. That is what I want also. Okay, so at least Viscom guys would do a very good job in presenting sheets. I'll be very happy with it. Right. That is what I'm planning for. Okay. Okay then. So what you can do is we'll end the session. Okay. We'll meet in the next class. By then you search for 4 good sheets which you feel that you cannot do in internet and show me, and so that I can teach you properly. Okay. Okay then. See you next week. Bye. Bye.